What's up, everyone? Today we're gonna draw Cimpanzini Bananini. Try to get your pencil ready. Have your paper facing vertically because we're gonna draw our Cimpanzini Bananini this way. Around here is gonna be the head, right? And about halfway of the page, we're gonna start with the banana. I'm just doing this so you could have a general idea of how we're gonna do it in consideration of the size of the page. All right, let's get started. We're gonna start over here. As always, I tell my student not to press the pencil too hard in case they need to erase. See, I'm trying to get the shape of the upper part of the Cimpanzini Bananini. Right? Once you get that shape, lightly pressing the pencil halfway, right? We're gonna start with adding a little bit of detail in the face. Right now, we're drawing the head of the hair, and just about around here, a little circle, small circle, more like a oval shape, and that's gonna be the ear right here, right? Just about around here. This is the forehead, where the top of the forehead where the hair starts. And let's find the shape of the face. Again, think of how big you're doing it, because you have to consider the rest of the drawing. Over here, this will be where the eyebrow gonna be, more or less, right? I'm not doing it right now, I'm just letting you know. So you could consider that space over here, right? The chin. Let's complete the face area. You know, monkey, they have this interesting shape on the face. Makes it very, easy to draw. Right? And again, I'm not pressing the pencil until I feel okay with it. When I feel satisfied, then I start pressing the pencil. Over here, I think I feel good about it. So I'm gonna start pressing the pencil slightly more. Alright, over here, just about here, we're gonna do a curve, and that's gonna be, as you could tell already, the mouth. And about here, we're gonna draw the eye. See? Just without pressing the pencil, because that's how you get control of the space, and you can see how well you do, and you can see, okay, I made the eye too big, too small. Let me change it. Let me erase it. See? Keeping a space between the two eyes. Right, so you can have a general idea. Let's do the eyeball right here. Trying to compare the two eyes, more or less about the same size, right? And the nose will start around here. You see the nose there's a space between the nose and the mouth, a big space. So you could remember, just draw this line, which is in the middle, right above the lip in the middle. Over here, a little bit of like a circle. And then, without going into detail right here, just do the other nostril of the ear, of the nose, right? And you could now do the little hole for the nostril. And over here, you could start seeing the shape of the face, the look of the Cimpanzini Bananini. over here slightly the eyebrow, right? And go ahead, you could start pressing the pencil because I'm pretty sure you're okay with it. You start adding more detail, a little bit of the shape of the mouth, right? The lower chin, the lower lips right around here. And let's draw the eyeball. Let's color that part black so we could have a better idea. We could see how big they are as we press the pencil. I like to leave a little spot, like a white spot. That will be like the reflection of the light. Here we go. On the upper side of the eye, a little bit darker. The light doesn't reach those areas, so you make it darker. You see, I'm pressing intentionally. I'm pressing the pencil because I could see that it's looking like my Cimpanzini Bananini. The eyebrow over here, right? The nose right about here. And here we go. Now this line you could make it thicker because that will be the mouth. And a little bit straight right around here. Straight line, and it comes down right here. Right? And if you feel that you could add a little bit of curve over here, feel free. It's up to you. See, I'm pressing the pencil. And I hope it's looking like your Cimpanzini Bananini. If you follow the direction, you're gonna be okay. And every time you do it, you get better. See, I press the pencil and you can see a lot of detail. See, that will be a little bit of a shape of the hair, right? That will be the ear right here. I'm pressing it and go inward, almost like a circle. And then over here, that will be the hair. And over here, I'm not gonna press the pencil until I feel okay with it. See, lightly pressing the pencil because I wanna see if it's gonna look like my Cimpanzini Bananini, and it does. So go ahead, you can press the pencil a little bit more to see the shape, what I call the hair that comes from above and around his face. Right? And let's finish the ear before we move away from the head, because now we're gonna do the body. Good. Excellent. We could always go back and add more detail. See, I want you to see everything. Now look over here. See? And then the banana gonna be around here. Now, see? Again, don't press the pencil too much over here. Right? And you could make your neck not too big, not too small, proportional to the head. Right? Just about around here. See, there's a space between here and where the banana gonna start. You could go ahead and start adding the shape of the banana. Right? And the way I like to do it, I like to start with this pill in the middle right here. Not too big and not too small. Right? A little bit of a curve. The curve that's gonna define the shape of the first peel of the banana. Right? And then let's continue at the bottom so you could get a general shape of the banana. You see? Without pressing the pencil, lightly pressing the pencil. You start with this curve at the bottom. And this will be the width. And you see how it's coming down this way? You jump a little bit over here because the other peel gonna start over here and continue with the banana at the bottom. So we're gonna leave that space for the other peel right here. And we're gonna do that right now. See, lightly pressing the pencil, you can see the width of the banana. Not too narrow, not too thick, proportional to the body of your favorite chimpanzee. Now over here, the shape, the end, the tip of the banana. Just do that. A little circle over here, and don't press the pencil too hard. Unless you're okay, unless you're satisfied with it. See, you can see the shape of the bottom of the banana over here. And let's do, starting right, let's do the middle. Let's do this middle line of the banana. See, halfway, and it gets more towards the bottom. This part is a little bit thicker. There you go. Right? Let's finish the first peel of the banana. Look. And let's do a little line in the middle. This is more a little bit of detail. It's up to you. You could add more, you could add less. You are the artist and you're in charge. And you could redefine your banana like I'm doing right around here. That's why I was so happy not to press the pencil too hard, because we all made little mistakes. See, I'm adding a little bit of curve over here. Makes it look like a 3D, more realistic, right? And then just let's start right around here. We create a little bit of opening over here, because that's where we're gonna start with the second peel. The second peel right here, more or less without pressing the pencil. You see, I almost pressed the pencil a little bit too hard, and it could go over. A little bit of overlapping the banana at the bottom, the shape of the banana. You could do that. See? And not too thick, not too narrow. You see another curve that is coming down, and that's the other peel. And it's not gonna be like perfect. Everyone has their own style. You can make your banana a little bit longer, a little bit of more curve. It's up to you. It doesn't have to be just the way I'm doing it. Just give you a general idea. But you're the artist and you are in charge. Great. Let's complete this part over here. Let's make it a little bit narrow over here. See? I'm completing this part so you can see the shape of the banana. And I'm very pleased with it, the way it's looking. And don't worry, if it's not looking the way you want it to look, just pause the video and start again. It's okay. Adding a little bit of curve at the bottom. There you go. Excellent. See, a little bit of curve on the second peel, and you know, it could be a little bit of shading style right here. Shading. Look right here. Look, I'm adding that. We're gonna come back and we're gonna add more shadow, more shading, so it could look three-dimensional. This will be the third peel, which start around here. See, start around here, and don't press the pencil too much. So start over here, and this will be the where it goes down this way. See, here we go. Let's come down, because this one is behind this peel, so you're not gonna see the whole third peel, because it's behind the second peel right here. Good. I hope you're following through. A little bit of shading, a little bit of shading over here. Great. And a little bit darker, because the light is not reaching this, which is where the third peel bends. It bends down right behind the second peel. And you could press the pencil over here, and you could outline this more. Remember, this is in the front, a little bit of shading over here. And let's jump across and start the fourth pill right here. See, a curve. Without pressing the pencil, go up a little bit, and come down inward, closer, because it's bending. This fourth banana is also bending. A little bit of curve over here, right? Not too thick. So you could go up, right? See, it's a curve. Curve come down. See the shape of the banana already? I'm getting the outer shape of the banana. And I'm pressing the pencil a little bit more because I want you to see what I'm doing. And right about here, you're gonna define the inside of the pill. See, it connects it to the other line. Take a look, and I could press this one already here, make it darker so you can see, and so you could have a better idea. See, this is inside of the pill right here. So a little bit of shading, just like I did over here, just like I did over here, and it's up to you. You could add more shading on the left, depending on the position of your light. Let's say you want to put more shadow over here. That means the light is on this side. If you're gonna put more shadow on the right side, then the light is on the left side. All right. See, another curve over here, and this right over here simulate probably another pill, but it's right behind. So you just show this little curve over here and a little bit of darker area, right? Good. Feel free to add shading, make it look more realistic, more 3D. And take your time, because every time you do it, you get better and better and better, right? All right, let's add more shadow, make it a little more 3D. And over here, this part, which I don't fully understand it, is also part of the Cimpanzini Bananini. Says straight line over here. Right, two lines. I added two lines over here. And I do this. Right? I'm just following through what I remember. And this part is also part of the Chimpanzini Bananini right here, and I'm sure you've seen this part right here. A little bit of shading. I wish you could tell me what it is, because I'm not sure. I think it's just like a banana. When you peel off a banana, that it shows some parts still attached to the actual banana. Some peels still, connected to it. So maybe you could, in the comments, you could comment and tell me what it is. Feel free, because I'm not sure what it is. I'm adding a little bit of shading to make it look more realistic. And before we forget, let's go to the head and define more of the hair. A simple line over here, not too long, and a little bit of curve, because that's the hair of the fur of your Cimpanzini Bananini. There you go. Excellent. And follow the direction of the hair. And you could add it this way too, which is one of my favorite. It doesn't have to be, just single line. It could be more, because I know you have built confidence already as we're doing all this drawing. And press the pencil over here. Like a hairstyle, really nice. Excellent. And let's go to the neck, right behind the ear. Come down over here, this way, see? It's like you hear the sound of the pencil. And trust me, this one gonna make you a better artist. You become more confident because you're doing it. And you're doing it all by yourself. because you love to draw. And even if you don't like drawing too much, you always have fun drawing. It's always to know how to draw. It helps you with your school assignment. You become more creative. Nice. See, I'm adding shading in different area. And you could grab your pencil that way. If you feel okay with it, adding some shading right the bottom of the banana. This banana, obviously when you start coloring your banana, you could make it yellow, orange. It's a combination, mostly yellow with a little bit of dark area, where a little bit of brown, lightly brown, where the shadow gonna be. See, this part will be a little bit brown mixed with yellow. Let's go to the face and add a little bit of shading. Makes it look more realistic. And don't press the pencil, see? Closer to here is a little bit darker. As it gets closer to the light, it becomes lighter. Further away from the light, it becomes a little bit darker. Like for example, right over here, a little bit darker right over here. And you could grab the pencil different way, depending on what kind of shadow you want to do, or how confident, or how much practice do you have drawing. Little by little, you get better. Following the shape of the face, say right below the lips, a little bit of shadow, and even the lips itself, a little bit shadowy, because it's gonna be like almost like a reddish color over here when you decide to color your Cimpanzini Bananini. Right around the eye, a little bit darker, right? Where right below the eyebrow as well. And you could further outline your nose. This part of the mouth over here. And if you want, you could add a little bit of shadow right above. That will be the upper lip. I'm just giving you a general idea, because you could add more detail over here. It could be a little bit darker. Follow the shape, the different area. And over here, you could add a little bit. Okay, that's what it is. It's similar to this part right here. This is the line of expression. Some over here, some over here. Right? And defining right below the hair area, it could be a little bit darker, right? Which is the neck area. I don't know if you could hear the sound of my pencil, but I love that sound. Right below the ear, or behind the ear, you add that little bit of shadow as well. And inside the ear, feel free to add, following the shape of the ear, add those little bit of shading, right? A little bit darker here. Yeah, try to define the ear. See? Sometimes you get so excited that you could add a shadow in. The more you do it, the better it's gonna look for the most part, because it's more practice. I mean, every time you do it, you get better. And it's very exciting to draw this type of drawing, because it's creative. It's something that it doesn't have to be perfect. If you're okay, if you're happy with it, that should be enough. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And this time we didn't get to use the eraser, but if you use the eraser, it's okay. It's okay, because that's when we start drawing, that's how we do it. And whenever we make little changes, it's okay. It's just I was so excited, so into it that I didn't have to use the eraser, but it's okay to use it. A little bit of shading over here. And again, if you could tell me that what's the purpose of this? Will be part of the cloth, will be the type part of the I'm not sure if it's some part of the banana that didn't get to be peeled off. Feel free to tell me. Oh, and take a look at this part when I do it, right below the neck. A little bit dark over here. The light doesn't reach this part of the banana peel, so feel free to add a little bit of shading. And you can see little by little it becomes more 3D. Alright. But this thing, it becomes even more interesting when you add the color. And eventually we're going to start adding color to all our drawings as well, so you could see more detail. Makes it more realistic. See, you could always go back, and any part that needs further definition, further outline, feel free to do it, because this is your drawing and you are the artist. And at the beginning, try to do it slowly. Take your time. Enjoy the process. Some line you can make it even thicker to further define your bananero. And I like to do this just when I'm about to end the drawing. A little bit of shadow or shading at the bottom, which is more or less the floor. That surface makes it more realistic. It's more like a finishing touch, basically. And this is how I grab my pencil. Just to this sideways shading, I call it. Over here you can see it's like the lights is, some of the lights is above and it's coming down like a straight line over here. See, a little bit. This is a reflection of this part right here. And trust me, every time you do it, it gets better and better. A little bit darker, closer to the banana. It moves away. A little bit lighter over here. And shadow is, it's not absolutely true. It's just your own way of telling that there's a light above and make it look more 3D, more realistic. All right. Right below this banana peel area, a little bit darker, since we emphasized on the light above, and we're gonna put some shadow over here, right? Darker, since we have a light on this area more or less, because some of the shadow are on the right, and we have a light above. So, showing you some technique of shading, and you could apply this to any artwork that you do or you have done. You could always go back and add that. So that's what makes it shady, makes it more realistic, makes it more interesting. Like three-dimensional. It's always interesting. It gets more attention. And you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it, but if you feel and you feel so excited, go ahead. If you want to do it, it's up to you. You are the artist. A little bit of shading right on below the chin where the neck start, with the hair start, and you could further redefine the hair as I'm doing right now. All right. Okay. I feel we're done for the day, and this is a drawing that's gonna give you ability of drawing curves, a circle, and keeping a proportion of the drawing, the hair related to the banana, not too big, not too small, considering the negative space right here. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'm gonna put my pencil down and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.